So, but let's move on to a guy who was a rookie last year, and we got absolutely crapped on in the comment section because we told you that your franchise made the wrong decision in quarterbacks, and you should have went with the other quarterback, Jane Daniels, offensive rookie of the year. Thank you very much, and led his team to the NFC Championship. Thank you very much. But yeah, Caleb Williams. I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams. I don't think that that's any secret around here in the Beard Zone. So, and Bears fans, you can continue to suck it. We were right all along. But I will say, right, play devil's advocate here. Statistically, he didn't have a horrible season. 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3,500 yards passing, and then he had about 500 yards on the ground. Not bad, right? But the leadership in him is piss poor. You know, you can't be throwing a temper tantrum on the sideline because, you know, the play didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. Okay, I'm sorry that you can't go and run and cry to your mom in the stands anymore. This is the NFL.
There's a film of Peyton Manning doing the same thing to Jeff Saturday, but we say that was great leadership. Caleb Williams does it. He's throwing a temper tantrum.
Caleb Williams threw himself on the bench. I'm okay with yelling at your offensive line. Okay. I'm okay with I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with because that's what he did. That's not okay. It's equivalent to the whole Indianapolis Anthony Richardson, hey, take me out, coach. I know it's 3rd down and we need this, but I'm too tired. You can't do that. This is the NFL. But now he has Ben Johnson. They went out and they invested in this offensive line. He got sacked 68 times last year.
He was last year Sam Howell. He didn't have anything. The 5 guys in front of him forgot they're supposed to stop the other side.
Or maybe they just didn't want to.
Here's my thing with Caleb, and I know Scooter's not a fan of him. Caleb came in and there was multiple reports about him getting onto veterans. And I use this and man, I don't even want to compare him to. I'm not comparing him to this gentleman, but this gentleman did the same thing in his career with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan came into a team that did cocaine, drank at halftime, didn't carry themselves in a certain way. Caleb tried to get them to do that. There's reports of him yelling at veterans to pick their garbage up on the floor. They're like, that's the equipment manager's job, and to do things the right way. I think he just got a lot of pushback. So the Bears, Ben Johnson's not going to put. There was one thing I learned about Ben Johnson in the interviews I've seen so far. That guy's a dog. He is not a sugarcoat. I thought he was more of the yin to Dan Campbell's yang. Nah, that guy is nuts too, man. He just gives it straight, and I think he's gonna back his quarterback. I think we're gonna see if Caleb Williams isn't good over the next 2 years, in 2 years especially from now, then he is a bust. If he can't do it with this guy, he can't. But they invest in the O-line. They get him 3 new starters who have to be better. I mean, I could have played on that O-line and graciously given up 10 sacks easily.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, he's right back there, guys.
And I think Ben Johnson's he's gonna build that same. He has arguably. I feel like the set of wide receivers at Chicago are better than Detroit. You got Amon St. Brown and DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a stud. I mean, he's a stud. He is a stud that has had no quarterback and no system. He was at Carolina, garbage, and he comes to the Bears. Then you have Adunze.
Garbage.
Adunze is good, man. That was a good pick. I was a little skeptical.
Rome Adunze
is good. And then they draft Luther Burden, who's going to be an Amon St. Brown type of guy. Not that caliber player. I'm not going there. But he has that same style, small, shifty guy. And then they get the guy from Detroit. Man, I cannot pronounce this guy's last name. It's Zacchaeus, who's a good receiver. But if you look at the 3rd string receiver for the Lions, it's Tim Patrick. Those guys Zacchaeus. But I feel like that receiving core is really good. And they get Loveland from Detroit. They draft from Michigan, and Cole
Gosh, I
Clement.
will never forget that. I will never
I
forget
don't
that.
I don't get it. But if you have a chance of getting the next Travis Kelce, I guess you can't pass on it. Like, he's that kind of a guy. But you have Cole Clement, who kind of reminds me more of a Sam Laporta, but I think Laporta's he's better. But Clement's a good red zone guy, blocks very well. So I think Ben Johnson's going to put his offensive stamp for sure on this. And they went out and got 2 Sean Payton guys, which Sean Payton ran the same kind of an offense. He had Kamara, Williams. He had the good receivers. He had that quarterback. So they go out and their new OC and DC are the one. Allen was the head coach of the Saints, and then he was Payton's DC for 5-6 years. And then they go get the OC, who was with the Broncos. So I think we're going to see a step. This is the team that intrigues me the most. Like, they could be much better. I think Swift is going to be Gibbs, and Ross.
I think that they're going to. I think they're going to take a step in the right direction. I'm not going to sit there and say that it's going to be another 5-12 season, because that's what it was last year. Hopefully, Caleb steps in the right direction. But you're right. He has the next 2 years to prove himself, to truly prove himself, because if he can't do it with Ben Johnson and the investments that they have made with him, with the offensive line, that offensive line, going out and getting the guys that they did for the offensive line and the interior of the offensive line especially, is huge. That means that they want to continue to do the right thing. They want to build this team. They want to build it around Caleb Williams. They invested in him. They went out. They got him at first overall. They skipped out on Jane Daniels. Caleb is their guy. Okay, now you have to die. Now you have to lay in the bed that you made. So if he doesn't do it over the next 2 years, I'm not going to shut up about it, Bears fans. So you just be prepared.
And he had a terrible head coach. The head coach
did have a great head coach,
and he did. The one thing that impressed me, one thing with him last year, Williams, is he didn't have a lot of turnovers. He only had 6 interceptions last year. With all that pressure for a rookie quarterback, should equal double digits interceptions. So he was at least smart. He took the sacks, gained his yards. I think he's better. Daniels, to me, just fell into the right situation. I mean, he's got Cliff Kingsbury as his freaking OC. Like, he's got 2 head coaches for his coaches. So, like, but he's a great player. I'm not taking anything away from Jay Daniels. He definitely exceeded what I thought he was going to do. But I feel like we're going to see a bump up from Caleb Williams here, and I think we're going to finally see a 4,000-yard season out of a quarterback in the Bears.
Let's hope so.
I said this last year too, so I'm sure Scooter is going to hit the comment and be like, "This guy's an idiot." We're going to see a lot in the comments here. But like I said, they're heading the right direction. They're a team that, I think they need the first year. I think there's going to be the first year struggles with Ben Johnson, the whole new coaching staff, new culture that they're going to build, and I still think they got to weed out some players, and that's what Dan Campbell did. He weeded out the weak players in a sense. And hey, if you're going to play on my football team, you're going to be tough. And I think Ben Johnson's going to do the same thing with them. Like, you're going to be tough to be a Chicago Bear, and you should be. If you look at the old Bears teams, man, the '85 Bears, those old Bear teams were they didn't half of them didn't have teeth. And the ones that they had were for the other guys that they knocked out and put in their pocket. Like, they were tough football teams. That's Bears football, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
And they got to bring that back. There's got to be some dog in there. And, we'll see. We'll see how it's going to go.